Yeah, y'all. We in here. Good evening. Good evening. Happy Tuesday to you. It's your man Frank, View from the Man Cave. Welcome. Welcome to View from the Man Cave, a place for honest, intellectual, and informative dialogue and discourse about all things related to masculinity and manhood, responsibility and respect, provision and protection. So let's talk about it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. What's going on, y'all beautiful people out there, to all the gifted, intelligent, extravagant, and eloquent people out there, man? What's going on? Hope y'all are having a great Tuesday. I hope y'all had a great New Year's. I hope you celebrated your New Year's. You had fun. Hopefully, you were safe. All of that, man. It's 2021. It's go time. Um, I had a great New Year's. Obviously, some of you guys know who follow me on social media, on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all of that. I really took some time off the week after Christmas. My wife and I, we took some time and we flew out to Egypt, and we flew out to Dubai, and we had a great time. And it was just some time to get away from everything. You know what I mean? My wife, I just wanted to honor her, treat her to a little something, because she's amazing. She's an amazing wife. She does a lot for me and for our household, with the virtual learning and the kids and all of that. It's very tough, being my wife and being the mother to my children. And she earned that. She deserved it. And so I wanted to do something very nice for her, and just to kind of get away for a little bit. And I wanted to celebrate, 2020. I know it's been a tough year for a lot of people, with the pandemic and all of that, people losing their jobs, and, people not knowing, where the next meal is going to come from, how they're going to pay bills and things like that. But it was an amazing year for me. By the grace of God, I kind of set things up beautifully. So, pandemic or no pandemic, Team Rivers is going to be okay. The money's lined up right. So we didn't have to really deal with some of the things that a lot of people had to deal with. And I've seen it, man. I've got out there, I've volunteered, I've donated, money, food, help passed out food, all of that. And so I kind of see what's going on out there, man. But, just for me personally, it was an incredible year. View from the Man Cave popped off in 2020. I just started the channel. I did my first live in April, when the pandemic had first hit, late March, early April. I started my first live. I started really taking the channel serious during the pandemic, being that I was teleworking from home and all of that. And so the channel's grown leaps and bounds since then, man. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers in less than a year's time. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I thank you guys, man. I love y'all for all of the support. All of the, the views, the likes, subscriptions, all of the, financial support, all of that, people sharing the content, people super chatting, all of that stuff, sending me emails, giving me encouragement. So I'm very grateful for that. I see all of y'all in here. I see D in here. I see Devin, Janelle, Miss Witt, the bro Phineas, chocolate coated. I see all of y'all in here, man. Let me see. Thanks for the super chat, Phineas. I recovered from Dubai, trip fun, man. Welcome home. Yeah, man. I'm still a little jet lagged. We left Tuesday last week. We got back Monday morning early. So we got off the plane around 6 a.m. Hit it, went straight to the house. The kids had to get up, get ready for virtual learning at 8 o'clock. So it was really no break outside of that 10-hour flight, man, from Cairo back to Washington, D.C. So I'm going to talk about a few things. I'm going to talk about the trip, and I'm going to talk about, some current events, some things that I saw in the media, and then we're going to get right into our topic tonight. I see my man Third Ward in here too, man. My man, King of Houston, man, H-Town, one of the members of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Absolutely. I see you. So, all right, so we're going to start with the trip. So it came out of nowhere. My wife and I, we were just sitting home chilling one day, and my mother-in-law is here at the house. Shout out to her. She flew up from Jacksonville, kind of spend the holidays with us and with the grandbaby. So she was here, and my wife and I were, we just got to thinking. And I was like, yo, let's go somewhere, man. We need to kind of get away for a little bit, recalibrate, reassess some things, kind of, look back on 2020 and prep for 2021. So it was a go. So we decided to go to Dubai. We kind of narrowed it down between Dubai and Rome. But, Europe is an absolute mess right now. It's shut down. They have a new strand of COVID out there. So Europe was a no-go. We found that out early. It was a no-go. So we decided on Dubai. And so it was cool. Like, people are still traveling. I know a few people hit me who was like, Frank, you sure you want to do that? Because of COVID and all of that. And, I'm just here to say, I'm here to tell y'all that, I take a lot of precautions, man. I would never put, my family at risk, at all. So even though we're both home the majority of the time, I only have to go into the office twice a month. But, we take COVID tests once a month here. If you live in Maryland, the COVID testing is free. There are 2 sites that I know about. One is right down the street from my home, right near the Six Flags. The other one is in Baltimore, at the Baltimore Convention Center. They're free. You just go there. The one in Six Flags, actually, you pull up in your car and they test you from the car. You know what I mean? Like, you go up there, you show them your information, they write it down, they swab you right in the car, and then, you know what I mean? And they send you your results by text message, or they send them to you. They have an app and you sign into it and you can get your results. So they come back in 48 hours and it's free. You know what I mean? So because of that, I take a test every month. To fly to Dubai, you had to have a negative COVID test within 96 hours of your departure date. So because we left on Tuesday, we had to get a test the day after Christmas on the 26th. So we did that. The test came back negative, and then we flew out to Dubai. We had a layover in Egypt. And so our layover was about 6-7 hours long. And so we decided to just take a tour real quick. They have tours set up in Egypt where if you have a long layover there, you can do a tour real quick, 2, 3, 4 hours. They'll pick you up from the airport, and then you do your tour. They bring you back. You have to get a visa, you know what I mean, to stay in the country for a few hours to leave the airport. So we had to pay $25 each to get a visa to kind of move around in Egypt a little bit, in Cairo. So we did that, and we just took a tour of the pyramids at Giza, man. You know what I mean? The pyramids at Giza, I remember this place was very sentimental to me. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I've always studied it. I've always, been a huge fan of Kemet. Is really, shaped my life once I, gained a certain level of knowledge of self. You know what I mean? So I always wanted to go there. I remember my wife and I, Rasha, when we first started dating and, courting and all of that good stuff. Some of those early conversations were about, what places that we wanted to go, that we had never been to. And so I told her, I have to go to Egypt. I have to go to the pyramids. You know what I mean? It's very special to me to be able to see, the only wonder of the world that's still standing, and to know that Black people did that. You know what I mean? People who look like me built that, and it stood the test of time. These are 6,000-7,000 years old, and then some. You know what I mean? So, and so, it was just a dream come true to be able to go there. So we went out there, man. We had a great time. You know what I mean? Your kid, man, was out there fresh. You know what I mean? Polo down out there, in Egypt and Giza, checking out the pyramids and stuff like that. So, so we had a great time. You know what I mean? Camel hopping and all that. I was out there like a sheep. And so Egypt was great, man. You know what I mean? I had an amazing time. My wife had an amazing time. So then we go back to the airport in Cairo and we fly to Dubai. So the flight from DC to Cairo was about 10 hours. You know what I mean? 10 hours straight. And then so we did our little tour in Cairo at the pyramids at Giza. And then we flew from Egypt to Dubai. And that was about 3.5 hours or so. So we stayed there for almost a week and we did a few tours. The first tour we did like a desert safari tour. You know what I mean? So we were out there in the desert, you know what I mean, riding around in ATVs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Hanging out in the desert, having fun. We were sand surfing in the car in the little SUV. They were riding all over the desert, sand surfing and all of that. My wife was, I did some sand skiing. I'm not gonna play that for y'all because she fell, but she lasted longer than I did. I fell too. Like as soon as I got on it, I fell down. But she went all the way down the hill and did her thing before she fell. But I can't show y'all that. I can't do my baby like that. But yeah, but we had a whole lot of fun, man. It was great. You know, just being out there, man. On the east side, man. I mean, this is the cradle of civilization right here. So we had an amazing time out there, just having fun in the desert. You know what I mean? I got my hookah on a little bit. You know what I mean? They call it shisha out there in Dubai. They call it shisha. So I was getting my hookah game up. You know what I mean? Doing that, having some fun. You know what I mean? Moving around, enjoying myself. And so some other places that we went. So we took another tour. We wanted to go to Abu Dhabi. We were going to do a tour there of the city of Abu Dhabi, but Abu Dhabi was closed for the most part due to COVID. So we just canceled that tour and we did another tour, just a tour of Dubai. So we moved around Dubai a little bit. And let me say this too: the Middle East, especially Dubai, is very safe. They don't play over there about COVID and about wearing your mask. If you get caught not wearing your mask in public, you're going to get a fine, and that fine is 3 digits worth. We're talking about in the hundreds of dollars. So they don't play. You have to wear your mask over there. I mean, where's the Middle East period? They don't play about a lot of things. You know what I mean? But this COVID thing, they're taking it very serious. So you had to wear your mask. You couldn't play around with that. Even at the hotel we stayed at, there was no self-serving of the food. They served you the food. Everybody was masked up. Everybody was 6 feet away from each other. So they took a lot of precautions. So, and their COVID numbers are very low, compared to the United States. So we felt safer over there than we do at home. You know what I mean? Like they really don't play around. So, so the next day we took a tour of Dubai. So we moved around like that. This right here is in front of the Atlantis. The late great, Michael Jackson had a spot up in there. A lot of famous people, have spaces up there in the Atlantis. So we were there. We went to the Museum of Dubai. Had some fun out there. We went to the Burj Khalifa. Shout out to the Burj Khalifa. That is the tallest building on the planet. It has 148 floors. So we took a tour of that. We went all the way up to the top. Me and wifey, we had fun. I think I made a little video up there and put it on my Facebook and my Instagram. So we did that. Had a lot of fun. We did a little, we had a little yacht cruise and all of that. So we had a little yacht situation going on. They had the music going. They were grilling food on the yacht, playing music, having fun. So we did a little bit of that, and that was pretty much it. So on the way back, coming back home, we had another long layover in Egypt. So we did a tour of the Nile River. And so we just hopped on a boat and rode down the Nile River. For those who don't know, the Nile River is the second longest or largest river on the planet behind the Amazon, I believe. The unique thing about the Nile River is that it flows south to north. So it doesn't flow north to south. So that's a little bit of history right there for all the people who are religious. You know what I mean? We know about the Nile, about Moses and being put in the little box and, put in the Nile for the Pharaoh to find them. And, it's just the cradle of civilization. I mean, it's history right there. This is tens, hundreds of thousands of years old right here. So we had an amazing time out there, man. And we thoroughly enjoyed that. So yeah, I see my people in the building. Sasha's here. Kid Gravity's here. Miss Jones. I see y'all, man. Appreciate it. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for coming through. So some other things going on, some other current events that I saw, this sister right here, this sister is one of my idols. I love her. I love her dearly with all of my heart. For those who do not know who this is the late, great warrior, scholar, master teacher, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Dr. Welsing passed away 5 years ago, on January 2nd, 2016. She passed away. So, I wanted to show her some love. If you have not read her book, The ISIS Papers, you are missing out. A lot of the things that, she talked about in her book, The ISIS Papers, is really coming to pass, where she basically breaks down the reasons why racism exists. And she talks about, some of the tools that the dominant society is going to use, has used, and will use in the future in order to subjugate Black people. And one of them being the feminization of Black men. She talked about that in a lot of detail. So if you have not read the ISIS papers, you're truly missing out. But she's one of the greatest scholars that we've ever produced in this country. So I just wanted to show some love to her. She passed away on January 2nd, 2016. So that's 5 years ago. It doesn't really feel like it's been that long. But yeah, but you know, if you haven't seen her, she's in Hidden Colors, the great, you know what I mean, critically acclaimed docuseries that the brother Tariq Nasheed did. You know, there were 5 of them. I think Dr. Wilson was in at least 3, the first 3. So if you want to see her live, you know, you can cop any one of those. You can go on YouTube, just search her name. You're going to see a lot of videos about Dr. Wilson. Also, an author that I've had a lot of respect for over the years recently passed away. The brother Eric Jerome Dickey. Eric Jerome Dickey, you know, he's a very, you know, he was a very intelligent brother. He was an author. He put out a lot of books. A few of them are here in the house, are in the library. And he just recently passed away, 59 years young. So some of the 2 of my favorite books that he put out was a book called Friends and Lovers and a book called Between Lovers. But he had another one called, I think it was called Sister to Sister. And so he was a great, you know, critically acclaimed New York Times bestselling author. The brother was also an engineer. He went to the University of Memphis, graduated from their School of Engineering. So he was a very intelligent brother. And he just passed away, I think it was today or either yesterday, at 59 years young. So I just wanted to say salute to him, shout out to him, and I'm praying for him and his family, all those who knew him, who loved him, and who appreciated his work. So I just wanted to shout, you know, these 2 special people out. All right. So on that note, man, so we're going to get right into it. The topic of today's show is called Husband Responsibilities and Boyfriend Responsibilities. So when I wanted to do this show, really because I hadn't really seen anybody else do it. You know what I mean? Number one, I hadn't seen anybody kind of tackle this topic before. So I just wanted to kind of bring some light to it. And when I did research on it, because every time I do a show, I see you, Tony. Happy New Year's to you. Every time I do a topic for a show, I always do a little bit of research. You know what I mean? I'll Google, I'll go on Bing, I'll go, matter of fact, yeah. After being matter of fact, yeah, we did do that. So wifey and I had a camel burger. You know what I mean? Shout out to the camel burgers. We rolled a camel and then we bit on one. You know what I'm saying? Ate one up. But yo, it was good. You know what I mean? I know wifey probably said something about yeah. So the camel burger was incredible, man. It was very, you know, it was very it was seasoned well, it was very moist, very good sandwich. You know what I mean? My wife, we were out there and she said, baby, you know, before we leave, I gotta have a camel burger. Like, I want something unique to Dubai. You know, you don't want to go over there and eat wings the whole time. So I was like, man, so, you know, so we found a spot that had a camel burger and we went out there. I think it was near the marina, and we had a camel burger. It was dope. It was good. You know what I mean? I kind of liked it so much. I might even, you know, go to the international store, you know what I mean, and give me some camel meat. Yeah, Janelle, I'm a weirdo. Me personally, I'm a weirdo. Like, you know, we travel a lot and I eat a lot of crazy food. Last year, 2019, we went to Spain. Shout out to Spain. We went to the Canary Islands out there in Tenerife, and I had a whole octopus. And I ate them down. That was some good puss right there. Everything, the whole joint. You know what I'm saying? I ate the whole. I was like a little baby octopus though, but they fried them up for me. You know what I mean? Seasoned them up nice, and that octopus was good. Yeah. But the camel burger was dope. You know what I mean? If y'all go out there, if you go to Dubai, get you a camel burger. You'll like it. You know what I mean? It doesn't have a real weird taste to it. It was very delicious though. Seasoned up right, very moist, nice texture to the meat. It was very good. So yeah, I wanted to do this show because I hadn't really seen anybody. I hear you, Cora. It's all good though. know what I mean? But yeah, I'm telling you, you'll be surprised, man. You might like it. You might, try something. Step out of your box a little bit. But yeah, so I wanted to do this show because I hadn't really seen anybody kind of tackle this topic right here. You know what I mean? Like, I did research on it. I was Googling, I was on Bing, you know what I mean? I was going on YouTube. Yeah, Natalie, it tastes like beef. It does. It tastes like beef. So every time I would research this topic, all I would hear or all I would see is articles and videos about women and the difference between, being a girlfriend and not giving a man wife privileges. So the only thing that I saw when I researched this topic is from the woman's perspective. Like, you're, his girlfriend, and you shouldn't be acting like a wife. You shouldn't be giving him wife treatment. You know what I mean? You shouldn't go all out for him like you're his wife and you're not. You're only his girlfriend. He hasn't really put a ring on it yet. So you shouldn't really be giving him these type of privileges. That's all I saw. And I'm here to tell you, fellas, for all you young fellas coming up, I know there's some, I know my man Chad is listening. Shout out to Chad. North Carolina, that's home, Jonesville Road. You know how we do it. For all you young brothers coming up, man, if you are a boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? If you her boyfriend, there's a certain thing, there's a difference between boyfriend privileges and husband privileges. And a lot of times, brothers will get it messed up because we'll say, look, well, in order for me, like, I'm her boyfriend, and in order for me to kind of show her who I am, especially if I'm trying to really put my bid in, I'm trying to lock her down, and eventually I see myself maybe marrying her, whatever, you know what I mean? Or if it's early in the relationship and you're really trying to leave a good mark with this woman, a lot of times you'll overextend yourself and you'll give this woman husband privileges. You know what I mean? You'll give this woman husband privileges, excuse me, and you're not her husband. You're her boyfriend. So there's certain different, so those are completely different lanes, and you have to move differently between the two. You know what I mean? You have to move differently between the two. And all the articles, I'm saying, once I Googled this, all I saw was the, Shea Butter, Twitter and Madame Noir and all of that, and Essence Magazine talking about, you as his girlfriend, you're not supposed to give him wife privileges. And they kind of specify what they felt like wife privileges are. And there was nothing out there, and I mean nothing, about a man and, being a boyfriend and not giving this woman husband privileges. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to talk, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it a little bit. So I'm going to break down, obviously, I'm going to go step by step. I'm going to go precept upon precept. I'm going to break it down on an elementary level, because I'm not going to assume that everybody who's going to hear this in the future knows, what a boyfriend is, what a husband is, and what their responsibilities and duties are, what they should be doing, what they should not be doing. So I'm going to break it down, from the minute basic level, from the basic molecule. So a boyfriend, right? So a boyfriend is a term that we use to describe someone who is a regular companion of a female in a romantic relationship. All right. Boyfriends are male companions who are not committed in a relationship for the long term. You know what I mean? The relation of a boyfriend with a female can be romantic, usually romantic or sexual. But a boyfriend has no legal responsibilities that he has to fulfill related to his female partner. So let's stop right there. So fellas, when you are a boyfriend, what that means is you are this woman's companion. Okay. You have certain responsibilities that you have to live up to. You have to adhere to being her boyfriend. You want to show this woman respect. You want to show this woman a certain level of courtesy. You know what I mean? I'm from the South, so I'm very serious as it relates to, being a gentleman. You know what I mean? Growing up in North Carolina, I open doors, I pull out chairs. You know what I mean? I pay the bill for the dinner. You know what I mean? I feel violated. I feel disrespected when the waiter comes to the table and puts the bill in the middle, or come over and look at us like, which one of y'all going to pay? I feel violated. You know what I mean by that? So that's just me. I'm not telling people how to move, but the way I was raised, my upbringing, that's what I do. I feel like that's what men do. You know what I mean? So I do that. But yes, Cora, a boyfriend is one that technically, and I think when I say not committed, I mean by um, a vow perspective. I mean by I mean by a legal, situation. So your boyfriend, if you guys have made a certain level of commitment, you still expect this person to be honest with you. You still expect this person to be faithful, to you. So, yeah, so I'm not saying that your boyfriend is somebody that can just run off, and do whatever they want to do, but from a legal perspective, from the eyes of the government, from the eyes of your, your, uh, your spiritual belief system, whatever that is, you are not technically committed to that person. When you're a boyfriend, you're trying to find out if this person is wife material, if this is somebody that you can, hang your hat on, if this is somebody that you can build with long term and potentially make a wife. You understand what I'm saying? So there are certain things when you're in that space. There are certain things that if you do them, you're acting out of your lane. You're out of your lane. You know what I mean? When you're a boyfriend, you are not financially responsible for her. And I know there's a slippery slope because as a man, what you want to do when you're dating, you're showcasing yourself. You know what I mean? And you're allowing this person to see you. So you want to showcase yourself to the point where you're saying, look, based off what I've told you, based off what I've shown you, I'm somebody that you can build with long term. And so there's a certain level where you want to display your ability to provide and protect the woman. You know what I mean? So you have to do that. But technically, you are not financially responsible for this woman. And so a lot of brothers will come up in there and, they'll be in these situations and they'll be in these relationships and women will put a lot of financial burdens on them. Some women will put a lot of financial burdens on them that they really don't want to, get involved in, but they'll do it because they feel like they're trying to showcase themselves to the woman and they're trying to let this woman know that, hey, I'm somebody that, I'm real. I'm somebody that you can build with long term. So fellas, if you're dating, you're not obligated to, you're not obligated to pay this woman's bills. You know what I'm saying? You're not obligated, if her credit is jacked up, you're not obligated to get her up out of that. You know what I'm saying? So if you out here, paying bills, I don't care what it is. You paying phone bills, you paying, electric bills at places you don't stay at. You know what I mean? If you're doing that, those are husband privileges. You know what I'm saying? You out here co-signing cars for chicks and, putting your name on her application for an apartment and all that. You are acting out of order. That's husband responsibilities. Husbands are financially responsible and obligated and duty bound to provide and protect their wife. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, you don't pay for nothing. You take that woman out on a date, you pay that. You understand what I'm saying? You pay that dinner. You know what I mean? You do that. If I'm not saying don't give her. I'm not saying don't give her gifts. You know what I mean? If you into her like that, you do that. But the thing is, you're not obligated to take care of this woman. So a lot of these brothers, man, they'll get in situations where like they're young and they're naive and they don't really have a lot of game in them. They're kind of game goofy. And these women will talk them into fronting the bill for a lot of things they shouldn't. You know what I mean? Because they're a boyfriend. A boyfriend ain't obligated to pay your bills or get you out of debt or help you get a car or, help you sign a loan for a business you're trying to get into or whatever. Nah, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, like, don't do that to yourself, man. Listen, I've been around the block a few times, man. I got some OGs in here with me, man. I got my man Chad listening on the Facebook side of the game if he's still over there. I got my man Phineas, Third Ward, man. We've been around the block a few times, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you young, when you naive, you'll let some woman that you really into talk you into to breaking bread on things that you shouldn't. Those are husband privileges. You know what I mean? You don't give a woman husband privileges if you are her boyfriend. You know what I mean? You take her out. You know what I mean? You buy a little something. You know what I mean? You buy a little gift or something. You let her know how you feel about her. You show her those tokens. You give her a little something nice. You know what I mean? As a token of your love and respect for her, you know, if y'all have made it that far, but you're not obligated to be fronting the bill for, you know, for her life. You know what I mean? If she has kids, you know what I mean? If she got kids, like, you know, shout out to, you know, these single moms out here. Listen, I'm not somebody that's going to ride on single moms all day. You know what I mean? All single moms are not built the same. There's some good women out here who, you know, who maybe had a kid with somebody that, you know, wasn't worth having a kid with. You know what I'm saying? It don't mean she a bad woman. It means she, you know, made a mistake with who she chose to have a baby by. But, you know, there's some good women out here that have kids. If she got kids, you rocking with a female that got kids. You ain't obligated to play daddy for them. You understand what I'm saying? You're not obligated to play poppy for them kids. You know what I mean? If you dating her and all that, you ain't obligated to be out here buying birthday gifts and Christmas gifts and you know what I mean? And you're not obligated to do that. That's what I'm saying. If that's on your heart, I'm not telling you what to do with your money. You know what I'm saying? That's not why I'm here. I'm not telling you what to do with your guap, with your coins. But what I am telling you is you're not obligated to be out here playing daddy when you're a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow her or anybody else to make you feel like that's your responsibility, especially not as no boyfriend. If you are a husband, you know what I mean? If you put a ring on it, you know, and y'all take vows, y'all have a commitment or whatever, and she has kids before you, okay, the game has changed now. It's a little different. You know what I mean? If they in your household, you responsible for them. Straight up and down. Everybody who live with me, I'm responsible for them. You know what I mean? I'm not in that situation. All of the kids who live in my house with me, all of my kids, they came from my wife. They came from her womb. But if there was a situation where my wife was a single mom and I married her and, you know, we lived together, all that, you know, and her kids are here, and our kids together are here, I'm responsible for them. You know what I mean? To a certain degree. And I'm gonna move like that. But if we dating, nah, I'm not liable. I'm not responsible to be, you know, running your kids around and, you know, paying for them. And, you know, I'm telling you, yo, some of these brothers, man, they get with these females and these females start crying a river, man. You know, Lord, my baby daddy ain't doing this. And I'm a little short. My phone about to get cut off. And, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for, you know, aftercare, but, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna pay for daycare and all that. And some of these brothers feel like, you know, that's their opportunity. You know what I mean? That's their opportunity to put on a cape and fly into that situation and save the day and let this woman know that, hey, I can provide, I can protect, I can put money up and I can handle stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yo, do that at your own risk, man. Do that at your own risk. Those are husband privileges. Those are not boyfriend privileges, man. And a lot of times, you know, brothers will do this stuff and they'll get caught up and they'll get frustrated. A lot of these incel cats, a lot of these MGTOW cats started off like that. They were game goofy. And some female stepped to them like that. You know what I mean? With a little woe is me story. And those brothers felt like, hey, you know, this is my opportunity to prove to her that, you know, she should really be choosing up on me. I'll handle that for you. You know what I'm saying? I'll cash app you that. You know what I mean? I'll pick up little man from basketball practice and all that. I'll do all this stuff to try to show you and prove to you that I'm that dude. I'm the dude that you need to be with. You know what I'm saying? And they start doing that early on and overextending themselves. And then they don't see the fruit. She's still slick with the mouth. She's still talking about her ex. She's still, you know, haven't really, you know, given herself to him completely. You know what I mean? And then he get frustrated. And then she wound up walking out on him. And then he get mad and want to start a YouTube channel talking about how bad black women are. A lot of times it starts just like that. You know what I'm saying? And there may be women who disagree with this. But if you do, you're lying to yourself or you're looking at it from the wrong perspective. Prime example, I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick. I was in Clubhouse and I was listening to I was in a room that my sister Nicole Michelle was doing. Shout out to her in the inner beauty movement. So I was over there, my man Gabe was over there, we were over there moderating, you know what I mean, doing our thing, supporting our sister. And this room was about, you know, the infamous Kevin Samuels, you know, video with the sister from Greenville. Shout out to Greenville, Pitt County, North Carolina. That's home. That's North Carolina. That's home. So a lot of us saw that infamous video and it hit, you know, social media like crazy. We all know that. So in the room, we were kind of talking about that video. So a lot of women who were in the room were like, well, yeah, I don't really understand why dudes are coming at her like that, because she's cute, she's attractive, you know what I mean? She makes six figures, and so she should get, she should be able to get a six-figure dude, and she's somebody that a six-figure dude would appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So me and the fellas were in there like, okay, all right, we hear y'all, even though most of us didn't agree, but we were like, all right, bet. So I asked the ladies this question. I asked them this question right here. I said, listen, I said, ladies, I want y'all to close your eyes for a second. I'm gonna give y'all a little game. I'm gonna give you a story, and I want y'all to answer honestly. I said, look, I said, imagine you have a son, ladies. And all the ladies in this chat right now who are listening to this video, I want y'all to answer the same. I want y'all to answer this question too. For those of y'all who saw that video, who because the women in that room were like, yo, she's cute, she may have a little issues, with her grill, but that could be easily fixed, but she's a cute girl, nice body, everything's tight, right? You know what I mean? Probably a little makeover, she'll be right in the game. So I told the ladies, look, I said, listen, imagine you have a son. Imagine you have a son who's, 30, 35 years old, 25 years old, whatever. Everything is going for him. He's 6 foot, whatever, 200, whatever, muscles everywhere, great career. He's a lawyer, he's a doctor, he's an engineer, he's an architect. He's comfortably making six figures. He has everything going for himself. Waves spinning in his head, nice big body Benz, whatever. He's living the life. Credit great, 800 credit. He's that dude, right? This is your son. And your son calls you up. He says, Mom, I'm coming over for dinner. You know what I mean? It's going to be a +1 though. I got somebody with me. So you say, okay, cool. No problem. I set an extra plate, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I no problem. I got you. So he comes over there, your son, who's making 200,000, 300,000, 400,000 and up, smart, college educated, great career, great business, whatever. Everything's popping for him. He comes home and he brings that female home. He brings Jessica home, the girl from that Kevin Samuels video. What would you say to your son? Would you say, she's a great catch, son? You know what I mean? She makes six figures. She has a 13-year-old son. You know what I mean? She has a nice smile, whatever. I'm okay with you. I support this. You know what I mean? I support you with her. I support you. If you wanted to marry this woman or whatever, date her, if y'all serious, she's the one for you. I support that. You know what I mean? Or if you had the option to tell your son, what to do when he would listen to you, would you tell him to date her? The majority of y'all would be like, no, hell no. Let's just keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So when it's a hypothetical, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, she's cute. She is a 6, she is a 7. You know what I mean? She got a little body. She got, you know what I mean? She makes six figures. She's doing great for herself. You know what I mean? So she should be able to get somebody that makes six figures. But when I brought it home for those ladies, they were all like, no, I wouldn't want my son to date her. He could do better. You know what I'm saying? He could do better than, a woman that has a 13-year-old son with a deadbeat, with a hood dude. Every last one of, and I see y'all in the chat, you know what I'm saying? And this is no shade to that sister. I actually talked to her. Like I told some of y'all before, right after the situation happened, a friend of mine that I grew up with, actually in the Ville, is dating her cousin. So I actually talked to this sister straight up. We got on the phone, we chopped it up, you know what I mean? And because I was going to invite her on the show to kind of talk about, what happened and, what she thought about what happened and all of that. And she respectfully declined, and that was all good. But I just wanted her to have the avenue or the platform to be able to talk, freely with, and tell her side. And so even though she didn't do it, it was all good. I have no vitriol towards her. I hope that sister, found a man of her dreams. But let's keep it real. The majority of y'all would not want your son who got everything going for him, your son who got everything together. If your son brought that woman home, you'd be like, son, what are you doing? All these women out here, all of them, all these women that's younger, that don't have any kids, that didn't date a whole bunch of hood cats. You know what I'm saying? You sure? Are you really, really sure? You know what I'm saying? The majority of women, probably 95% of women out here would say that. You know what I mean? So for the women who may disagree with what I'm saying about men who are boyfriends and trying to take on responsibilities of a husband, responsibilities that don't fit them, I already know what time it is. You know what I mean? I already know. You know what I mean? Because if that were your son, you would tell your son differently. You know what I mean? I've seen it. I've seen women move differently when they have a son. Or when they have nephews or little cousins or whatever. They talk a whole lot of, their game is way different than what they tell their daughters. You know what I mean? Prime example. Let me tell you how crazy it is. When a woman has a daughter and her daughter's pregnant, and her daughter comes to her and says, "Mom, look, I got pregnant by this dude. He's the father of my kid." Automatically, mom is like, "Okay, bet. We're gonna run up on him. We're gonna talk to him. We're gonna talk to his family. Because he's gonna be in this child's life. He's gonna pay child support. He's gonna be present. He's gonna get the kid on the weekends. He's gonna be an active father automatically. You know what I mean? Mom automatically goes in that mode, like, we're gonna run up over there and make sure that he's gonna play the fatherly role the way he's supposed to play it. I mean, we're gonna take him to court. If we got to, we're gonna do whatever. That's the mentality when she has a mom. When she has a daughter. When if that same woman had a son, and the son came home and said, "Mom, yo, listen, this little shorty I was messing with, this little fruity I was with, she called me last night, told me she was pregnant." First thing mom gonna say is, you better make sure it's yours. You know what I'm saying? That's the first. Ain't no being the kid's life. She ain't leading off with that. She ain't leading off with, okay, well, we're gonna, take care of the baby. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. First thing mom's is gonna say to her son, you better make sure it's yours. You better get a test. Are you sure? You know what I mean? Like, was she with somebody else? Did y'all take a little break? You know what I'm saying? Or something, or what's her demeanor like? You know what I mean? Has she cheated on you in the past? Whatever. The whole temperament, the whole vibe and energy is completely different. You know what I mean? When a son is involved, straight up. So yeah, man. Listen, fellas, don't give husband privileges to your girlfriend. Especially if you know that you're not going to maintain it. If you know you're going to waver. You know what I mean? Don't lead off doing husband things if you know you just doing that to hit, or you're not willing or capable of maintaining that. You know what I mean? Lead off in a comfortable fashion and finish how you start. You know what I mean? These women out here are expecting you to finish and perform the way that you practice. So if you're practicing on her and you're taking her out and you're doing things for her, and her tires are worn down, and there's no traction on the tires, and you buying 4 tires for and all of that. If you're doing all of that, she's going to expect you to be consistent with this stuff. You know what I mean? So if you know that you're not capable of doing that, if you know you're not going to do it, then don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Don't. Providing and protecting are husband responsibilities. Now, these are certain things that you are supposed to somewhat display in a certain way when you're dating. You're supposed to show her that you're capable of it. I'm not saying that, you don't protect her until you marry her. That's not what I'm saying. But there are certain situations that, you shouldn't, like, if you're dating, like, in the past, I dated females that, when I was younger, when I was in high school, in my early 20s, when I was in the military and stuff like that, I dated a few ratchets. You know what I'm saying? And some of these ratchets, like, everywhere we would go, they would always get into something, and I would always have to step in and defend her in the situation, even though she started it. You know what I'm saying? We go out to eat, she fussing at the waiter. You know what I'm saying? We go out somewhere and she get into it with some dude. I go to the bathroom, I come back, she arguing with some dude in his face. And I'm like, what happened? Well, he did, he looked at me funny, or he's such and such and such. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm handling it, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, yo, like, what is she doing? Why she keep putting me in situations where, you know what I mean? I gotta go out here and possibly get busy with somebody. Because men, we avoid situations like that, like the plague, because we understand when men go at it, somebody could die. You know what I'm saying? Somebody could really die out here. It ain't really like no, females and arguing with each other and all that, and what I mean, with your mama this or you that, or somebody, front like they're gonna throw a drink on you or something. When men get busy, we understand clearly, like somebody could die. You know what I'm saying? If he don't back down and I don't back down and we get to it, something could pop off where one of us in the hospital, you know what I mean, or one of us is in a box. So we really avoid stuff like that. Like that's worst case scenario. So we ain't really trying to be in too many situations where we got to do something like that. You know what I'm saying? So you in situations where women always have you doing stuff like that, like that's a no-go, man. That's a no-go. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. But a lot of these guys, man, they act like husbands, especially with the money. And these women have them running all over the place doing stuff for them. And they really think that they're doing the right thing. They really think that she's going to appreciate it. She's going to respect it. And she's going to treat them a certain way because of it. And it doesn't always work out that way. You know what I mean? Play your position. If you are a boyfriend, play a boyfriend position. You know what I mean? You're not obligated to financially take care of this woman. You're not. If you choose to, that's your life. You know what I mean? That you can do that. It's your money. You're the only one who has to live your life. But I've seen it, man. I've seen it too many times where brothers would just put money up, overextending themselves, helping out her family. You know what I mean? Her cousin, my cousin just got locked up and we ain't got the bail money and all that. We ain't got this and we can't get him out. And, they shouldn't have locked him up. And then you come in with your cape on like, yo, I'm going to bail him out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this, or, my mom need this, or my mom need that, or my uncle, he really doing this. And yo, don't do it, man. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? The probability of that blowing up in your face is very high. Let me put it like that. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do. Like I said, it's your money, it's your life. All of my game comes from logic, and all of my game comes from a certain risk level. And there are certain times in your life, fellas, where you need to take calculated risks. Risks are a part of life. You got to step out there. You know what I mean? When I was in high school, I was kind of playing around. Like I didn't really take it serious. I was, chasing chicks and doing my thing. And so when I finished, I was like, yo, I can't really, I don't really have the grades to get into the school that I want. You know what I mean? On top of the fact that, I didn't really have the money to pay for the books like that. You know what I mean? If I had to go the JUCO route, or if I had to go to, community college route, you know what I mean? I still got to, I don't really, and then transfer to a bigger school. I didn't really have the money like that. You know what I mean? I was playing around. So I took a risk and said, you know what? I'm going to go into the military. Most black people don't go into the military because they're patriots. Let's just keep it a buck. A lot of us go in because, we were in the street, 10 toes down or 5 toes down, halfway in, halfway out of the street. And we really felt like we needed to do something to get away, to clear our head, to figure out what our next move was going to be. And why not go into the military, get in some shape, get cut up, travel the world, get you some money, some benefits until you figure it out. That's what I did. I took a risk. My best friend from the hood, from Southgate Projects, where I grew up for a good portion of my life. My best friend died in Iraq, or no, he died in Afghanistan, man. IED got him up out of here. So we took risks to be able to put ourselves in a position to live somewhat comfortable. You know what I mean? To be able to go to college after the fact and use your GI Bill and not owe any debt, or be able to buy a fly crib and use your your VA loan, so you automatically getting the lowest interest rates out there. You know what I mean? And you don't have to put no money down or nothing. We took risks for that. You know what I'm saying? And so in life, sometimes, fellas, you're gonna need to take a calculated risk. But at the end of the day, um, if you out here overextending yourself, if you're playing positions that don't fit you, the probability of you losing is very high. Your risk is high. Okay. Now, when you're a husband, um, so I want brothers to really understand where they are and what they should be doing, because I think there are a lot of boyfriends out here who are doing too much, and there are a lot of husbands out here who aren't doing enough. You know what I mean? Um, that's just facts. So if you're a husband, it is your responsibility to provide and protect for your wife, for your family, for your household. You know what I mean? You took a vow. You made a commitment. You stood, wherever you went. You went to the justice of the peace. You went to church. You were on a beach somewhere. You took a vow. You made a commitment. And you said that you would do certain things. You know what I mean? And you need to uphold that. If you're a husband, you need to take care of your responsibilities as a man, as a husband, as a father, period. You know what I mean? It's just, it just is what it is. You don't have the option of a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Because the commitment is there. The verbal commitment, the spiritual commitment, the legal commitment is there. So you don't have the option. At the end of the day, the boyfriend could walk away. He could say, you know what? Yeah, I put some money up. Yeah, I did a few things. We had fun. You know what I mean? The sex was good and all of that, but it ain't really what I thought it was going to be. So I'm going to leave. You know what I mean? And for the most part, there are no financial ties to that woman. The boyfriend could walk away. You know what I mean? He's not financially obligated to split anything. You know what I mean? To give her anything. He could walk away clean. No red tape, no nothing. You know what I mean? But when you're a husband, it's different. So you got to make sure you're on your square. You got to make sure that, that you're being responsible. You got to take care of her, man. You got to make sure she's right. You got to lead her, man. You got to be a leader. You know what I mean? You don't have the option. I don't have the option of a boyfriend. I can't walk away. I took my vows and I took them serious. You know what I mean? And I said, yo, I got her. This woman right here, I got her. As long as I'm breathing, I got her. If she needs something, she's going to have it. You know what I mean? If whatever it is, you know what I mean? It's no different from sports, man. The sport, and sports is life for the fellas out here and for the ladies who watch sports. It's no different. My responsibility to her is to give her what she needs to be, to play her role. You know what I mean? Because I can't ask her to cook something if I can't put, if I can't fill the refrigerator up. I can't ask her to clean a crib if we don't have no crib. You know what I'm saying? I can't do that. I can't ask her to wash my back in the shower if the water's off. You know what I mean? She can't play her role for me if I don't play mine, and vice versa. So you have an obligation, you have a responsibility to play your position as a husband. You know what I mean? You don't have an out. You don't. And if the situation is not where you want it to be, then you handle it. You have a conversation. You know what I mean? You have a players only meeting or something. Y'all sit down and work that thing out. You tell her what it's going to be. And if you have to apologize for some things that you did and set the record straight and wipe the slate clean, then you do that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't get to run. You don't get to dodge your duty. You know what I'm saying? You don't. If you fall off, look, it happens all the time, man. People lose their jobs. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. There are a lot of people at home, a lot of people who are making good money, who are at home right now, applying for jobs left and right, can't get nothing. You know what I mean? Going on interviews, doing interviews on Zoom, not getting a job, overqualified or not qualified enough. There are a lot of brothers going through some storms right now. So I understand as a man, this life, man, is like a tide. Tides ebb and flow. You know what I mean? So sometimes you're going to be up. Sometimes you're going to be down. You may have a crazy year, a crazy month where you make a lot of money. Everything is looking great. And then you fall off a little bit. You know what I mean? But you still can't run. You got to do what you got to do out here. You know what I'm saying? You still have to play your position as a husband. You still have to do it. You know what I mean? If you didn't put yourself in a position where you stash some of that money away, you know what I mean? When you had a crazy run, And a lot of black people do that, unfortunately. Even the majority of us who have money, we don't really save it like that. So you'll see them in a nice car, a nice whip, nice clothes, nice little house, condo, whatever. But then when something, listen, I've seen it, man. I work in the federal government here in Washington, D.C. A lot of us do. And it would always amaze me when we would go through a government shutdown and people would be scared to death. Now, my agency, the majority of us make great money. You know what I mean? The majority of us are six figures comfortably. You know what I mean? Like we're there. We're 12s, GL 12s, 13s, whatever. The majority of us make great money. And it would always shock me when we would be on a shutdown for like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever. You would think we were in Zimbabwe or something. You think we were in Thailand somewhere. People starving. I would always think that, like, and it wasn't necessarily, their fault whether they save or not. If they work, they're supposed to get paid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that we shouldn't get our money, because we should. If we work, we're supposed to get paid. But making all this money, you should be able to stash a little something away, and you should be able to be all right for a couple weeks, for a month. Wifey and I used to watch Susie Orman big time. We used to watch Susie Orman when she would come on TV, and Susie Orman was always big on that. She was always big on, stacking money. You know what I mean? Having a 6 month or eight month, savings, so that if anything happens to you, you know what I mean, you got 8 months of money stashed away so you could pay your bills and buy food and take care of yourself. But a lot of us aren't doing that. So my point is that there are going to be situations in your life, fellas, where you may hit a wall. You know what I mean? You may lose your job, or, they may have budget cuts or whatever, and you get cut. But you still have a responsibility to provide and protect. And I don't care what that looks like. Let me tell y'all something. If I lost my job right now and our savings ran out and we're good, I don't care. I'm applying for jobs. I'm applying for jobs that I'm overqualified for. I'd apply for as many jobs as possible. And if the only one that called me back was a KFC, I'm frying chicken. You know what I'm saying? I'm frying chicken. I'm going to let my wife and my kids see me working. I got to go somewhere. And my kids, and my prayer is one day that when my kids get older, they'll be able to understand that, dad fell off a little bit and he had to work at KFC. He was an assistant manager, making chicken littles and all that. But he went to work every day. And he took pride in going to work and coming home, even though he might have made a few $100s a week. That was a few $100s a week that mama could use to, stretch and put some food on the table, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Some of you cats, man, y'all fall off and y'all get so high and mighty, like you can't take certain jobs. And look, man, I'm 39. I ain't trying to work at nobody KFC. Let's just keep it a buck. I'm not trying to do none of that. But if I fell off and they were the only ones who called me back, it's me and the Colonel. You know what I'm saying? It's me and the Colonel. We homies. I'm figuring out what these 11 herbs and spices do. You know what I mean? And I'm bringing some chicken home. Straight up. I mean, I got to do it. I got to let my wife and my kids see that even when daddy fall off, he gonna go out here and get it. And then the universe is set up. The world is set up, and the universe is set up in a certain type of way, so where when you put that energy out there, something is going to happen. Something is going to shift in the atmosphere where somebody see you in there. Somebody see you in there frying chicken. Somebody see you in there, mopping the floor, and they say, you know what? This brother don't belong here, man. I need to talk to him. Matter of fact, in my agency, there was a young lady, and she was a janitor, and she would always come every morning. She would come on my floor. She would come by the office, my cube or whatever, and she would take my trash, and she had one of the prettiest smiles I ever seen. And she would always, her attitude would always be upbeat. She would always want to talk. Hey Frank, how you doing? How was your weekend? You know what I mean? How was your weekend? All of that. You know what I mean? She would be very nice. You know what I mean? Always talk, always have a positive frame of mind. And so and there were people who would look down on this woman, you know what I mean? Because, you know, she was a janitor. Her job was to pick up trash. And because she took pride in what she was doing, because she had so much respect for the fact that she had a job, that she could work an honest living, make an honest living for herself. That woman works for my agency's brother agency, and she's making great money right now. You know what I mean? So the same people who looked at her funny and looked down on her are her coworkers now. And some of them don't even make the money she makes. Some of them work for her. Some of them are her program assistants. You understand what I'm saying? The world works like that, man. It works in a certain way where if you humble and you understand that, look, I don't really belong in this job. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't think I ever said this publicly before. A lot of people look at me, you know, family members, friends, you know, people that I know, and they say, Frank balling, man. Frank got all this money, got this big crib. He's flying all over the place. He in Spain one time, he in Dubai over here, he in Cairo. When I first got out of the military, I first ETS. I came from Korea. I came to DC. I was at Walter Reed Army Medical Center because I was a medic. I was a certified EMT. I was a medic when I was in the Army. And I ETS from Fort Sam. I ETS from Walter Reed in 2006. And I got out and I thought that the world was going to just line up for me. You know what I'm saying? I thought things were going to just fall in my lap. I'm in the military. I'm young. You know what I mean? I just retired. I got my DD-214 in one hand. You know what I mean? I'm in pretty good shape. I'm gonna get out here and I'm a ball. You know what I mean? These jobs gonna line up for me. I'm out here in DC, all these agencies, DOD, Justice, all these different agencies. You know what I mean? So when I got out, it didn't really happen for me at first. So for like the first probably 2, 3, 4 months, when I got out of the military, I was living on savings. I was living on my benefits because I was going to school at the time and I was using my GI Bill to go to school. And they were paying me to go to school. So because I was a full-time student, they gave me a basic housing allowance. So they were giving me about $2,000 a month on top of paying for my books and my tuition. So I was living off that for 2 or 3 months, and I couldn't find a job. I was out here. I was applying. I was going on interviews, whatever. I couldn't find a job. So, but I had to do something. Even though I had money coming in, I was never broke. I've never had no money since I was 19, 20 years old. But I had to do something. So I started so I would interview and nobody would call, or I would get a call. I was overqualified, whatever. So I started working at like a labor rate. And you think about usually in major cities, and usually the people who work in there are people who are illegals, people who run the street, who are on drugs real bad, because you go when you sign up and you do a job for a day, and then they cut you a little check and you can cash it, and then it ain't really no strings and none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing that just so that I could, go out somewhere, work, and come home and feel like, a man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like a man at home, even though I had money. Even though I had my military benefits, I was going to school, I still didn't feel like a man being at home. So I went out here and I was basically I was a day laborer for a few months. This is somebody highly intelligent, military vet, going to school, college educated, and I was doing day labor work for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I was out here on construction sites where I couldn't do nothing but sweep up sweep up debris and put in the trash. And there were people like, yo, like I couldn't do nothing like that. I couldn't do it. But I said, yo, like that's character. And I knew that if me doing that meant that one day something better was going to come for me. You know what I'm saying? And it did. And I can live comfortably the way that I am now, and I could travel and do things and have a great time. But my mindset has always been, yo, I'm gonna get it however it come. You know what I mean? And whatever comes. If the only thing that come is a fast food joint, I'm gonna work that. I'm gonna work the hell out of it. You know what I'm saying? So if you in a situation, you in a marriage and you fall off, you got to hustle. That's your responsibility. That's your duty. You know what I mean? If you're a boyfriend, you can check out. You can say, you know what? Like, this ain't for me. You ain't for me, or the situation that I put myself in, or the person that I've become while I'm dealing with you, I don't like it. I'm walking away. And you can do that. But when you're a husband, you don't have that option. You know what I'm saying? Not if you take your vows seriously. Not if you're serious about what you said in front of that pastor, in front of all those people. You can't do it. You know what I mean? And even if the situation don't work, even if your marriage don't work, because let's be honest, divorce is real. People get divorced every day. Some of the best people in the world, just get with the wrong people and it don't work. But if it doesn't work, it shouldn't be because you didn't go out here and make it happen. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be because you fell off and you let it hit you so bad or hurt you so much that you never got back on your feet. You start feeling sorry for yourself and you start getting depressed, and you got your woman out here working 1, 2 jobs, 2, 3 jobs, trying to make things happen. And you at home depressed because you lost your $60,000, $70,000 job, can't get another one. That's a no-go. You know what I mean? You have responsibilities as a husband. You have duties as a husband to make it happen. A lot of us are from the street. The hustle mentality don't stop because you are square now, because we're square. A lot of us was in the street. We dabbled in the street life. We ran around on a street level. But when you grow up and you become a square, that hustle mentality don't leave. The only thing that changes is what you hustle. Only difference between Donald Trump and Frank Lucas is what they hustle, not their hustle. The hustle is the same, whether you're illegal or legal. The only thing that changes is what you're hustling. Trump hustle hotels. Frank Lucas hustle heroin. But outside of that, the mentality is the same. You got to get it. You got to take risks. If you got to ride over to Asia and get your product at the best price. Whatever you got to do, you have to do that. So the hustle don't change. You know what I mean? If you falling off, do something different. Go run and learn you a trade or something. You could be certified in certain trades in less than a year. So yeah, you was corporate, you wore a suit all day and you can't get that job no more. Go to school, go to a little program, get you a CDL license or something. Get you a certificate, become a plumber, something. Because your responsibilities don't stop because you have a setback. So a lot of these brothers, man, it's unfortunate, but a lot of these brothers, have been raised to be soft. Like if it don't go a certain way, then everything stops. You can't move like that, fellas. Because at the end of the day, these women are looking for us to play our role. And a lot of times, because we're not playing the role that we're supposed to be playing, a lot of these women are assuming our role. Because we're not being men and understanding how to go out here and get it every day. A lot of these women have become the man of their own dreams. Because they felt like they had to go out here and play your role because you won't play it. I've seen it. I've seen dudes who are married who if they can't practice what they love, if they can't practice their hobby all day, like they can't function. They don't want a real job. Real job for what? I'm a singer. I'm a musician. I'm a poet. You know what I'm saying? If I can't write poetry, that's all I want to do. I don't care nothing about that. I write a little poetry too. You know what I'm saying? But poetry don't pay my mortgage. Poetry doesn't put gas in the car. Poetry don't take my wife to Dubai. If it did that, then I'd be a poet. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a musician. I'll be a singer, whatever. I'll be that. If it could pay my bills and give my family a certain quality of life, I would be that. But because it doesn't, because I don't have that kind of talent, I'm not going to ride off into the sunset 35, 40, 45 years old, still hoping to get a deal, still hoping to play music. Not when I'm a husband and not when I'm a father. So you have responsibilities, man. All that playtime, when you become a husband, the playtime is over. Hobbies is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like music too, but it's coming when I get off work. I write a little bit of poetry from time to time too. I love Langston Hughes and you know what I mean, and some of these cats. But I write my poetry when I get off work. I got to go to work, man. You know what I'm saying? Bills have to be paid. Lights got to stay on. I mean, it is what it is. So, but fellas, and I'm gonna wrap it up. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna hold y'all too much longer. But yeah, man, if you are a boyfriend, if you in the boyfriend side of the game, play your position, man. You know what I mean? Show this woman what you're capable of. If you really feel her like that, show her that, you have the ability to provide and, you know what I mean, put your best foot forward, but don't overextend yourself. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Don't play a role that you're not built for. Don't play a role that you haven't signed, because at the end of the day, you're going to more than likely you're going to take an L and you're going to regret it, and it has a high probability of making you angry and making you bitter and turning you cold, because you did things for a woman that you shouldn't have. If you are a boyfriend, you are not obligated to play daddy to her kids. If you are a boyfriend, you're not obligated to finance this woman. You know what I mean? You could do things for her here and there whenever it's on your heart, but paying her bills and giving her money to give to her family and taking care of her kids and all this kind of stuff, that's not your role as a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Y'all engaged, that's your fiance, that's your husband, that's your wife. I mean, that's your wife. That's different. You know what I mean? Because there's a vow has been made. A covenant has been made. So you have to live up to that. But when you're a boyfriend, there's no vow. There's no covenant outside of, respecting one another and being faithful and all of that. And whatever parameters y'all set up for the relationship, however y'all move, that's it. But as far as financing this woman and taking care of her and, just breaking all kind of bread with her, that's a no-go, man. It's a setup for failure. All right, man. So I'm gonna say peace on that, man. You know what I mean? If anybody has any questions or comments in the chat, you know what I mean, I definitely answer those real quick. And let me see. I'm not really sure what topic I'm gonna come up with next week. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, it's gonna be fly. It's gonna be fresh. I like to set my StreamYards up, to announce the show and promote it by like Thursday or Friday. You know what I mean? So Thursday or Friday, y'all should see something from me about the show for Tuesday. You know what I mean? But on that note, I'm gonna say peace. If you see this video, you know what I mean? If this your first time coming over here, consider liking it, commenting, subscribing, to the channel and sharing the content and all of that. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate all the love and support that I get from y'all. I do not take it lightly. I don't, I don't care. Well, I'm at almost 2,000 subs. I don't care. When I get to 200,000, I'm still going to be humble. I'm going to still have that same mindset, man, being appreciative, because, this channel is what y'all made it. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what I'm talking about or how eloquently I talk about it. It's up to y'all to listen to it. It's up to y'all to subscribe to it, share it, and comment and all that good stuff. So I'm very humble and very appreciative of y'all for doing so. So if on that note, if you want to You know what I mean? If you have any questions for me, you know what I mean? If you want to have a consultation with me, you can do that. You can email me, frankjrivers@gmail.com. You know, you can get at me about the consultations. I'll let you know what that's going to look like for you. You know what I mean? For a 30-minute slot or for an hour slot, I already had a few cats reached out to me, you know, asking for some consultations and wanting to schedule that in the near future. So if you want to do that, you know, just to kind of rap to me, get a fresh set of eyes, a fresh, you know, pair of ears on your situation to kind of give you some game. You know, I can and I will do that for you. I'm not going to tell you to do anything I wouldn't do or I haven't done. You know what I mean? And obviously, I'm not going to put your business out there. You know what I mean? That's game goofy. So I would never do that to you. But if you feel on your heart, you know, to reach out to me for that, for a consultation, or if you want to email me, and just let me know how I'm doing, whatever, you can do that too. The Man Cave Mail series is still on, it's still popping. So if you want to email me for the Man Cave Mail series, you can do that. Just email me and say, hey, Frank, you know, I got a little situation I'm in, or I heard about this, you know, I would love for you to talk about it on the show, and I will definitely fit it in. I haven't got too big yet where I won't answer my emails. So if you do send me an email, you know, with, you know, just with anything, a question, a comment, or concern, you know, a topic for a Man Cave Mail series, or if you want a consultation, something like that, feel free to do that. And I will respond accordingly. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can do that as well. You can do that via Cash App or via PayPal. I am monetized now on YouTube. Shout out to Phineas for his super chat. I showed him love earlier, but I wanted to do it again. So if you want to do it, you can do it on YouTube while I'm live. You can super chat, or, you know, after the fact, if you want to do it, you can do it via Cash App. The Cash App is Cash App $, View from the Man Cave. Or if you want to, you know, contribute via PayPal, you can do so. PayPal.me/View from the Man Cave. All right. So again, man, so I love y'all. Y'all be safe out there, man. You know, we still in the pandemic. You know what I mean? Put your mask on, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away from me and mine. And until next week, man, I will see y'all. Y'all be safe. One.